to those matters. And as such, we call it Health Thursday. So you can always join us and ask your questions because we don't do it just by ourselves. Because as you know, health, it requires mainly experts to talk about, those issues concerning health. But today we're talking eye care. I would like to know if you've gone for an eye check or a test or examination since we have started discussing, eye-related matters on this show and other shows as well. I can remember that we did this like twice or three times last year. This is a new year. It's the start of a new year. Do you have any plans whatsoever to go for a checkup? And what has been your excuse for not doing so if you are yet to do that? Recall that in 2022, on the Morning Crossfire alone, we have had about 3 different ophthalmologists on the show, both male and female, to discuss eye care. And I can go ahead and give you, the dates and the exact thing we talked about. I mean, because we have the record here. And one thing that I know very, very well that most of the ophthalmologists that we brought here, have said sincerely is that you have to love your eyes the way you love yourself, the way you love your family, the way you love the dearest thing to you. You have to love your eyes with that kind of intensity. And would like to find that out today as well, whether you just feel, I know the gay eye problem. And maybe I can see Olamide that is 20 miles away. It's just that sometimes if I bring things close to my Oga, you need to go and do a check. Well, to do that and to look at all of these issues with me on the show this morning is an ophthalmologist. Dr. Saka Idris is here in the studio with us. Dr. Idris, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you good?
Fine. Yeah, thanks.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, same to you.
All right. So let's begin this way. I mean, you're an ophthalmologist. Yeah. You have, some numbers. If I ask you this, like, what is the most common eye condition that we have in Nigeria? What would that answer be? Like the most common?
Refractive errors. Errors of refraction. That's inability to focus either near, for far, or refractive errors basically.
Maybe we say I can see close objects or I can see far objects. That's what you're saying, and that's the most common.
Yeah.
Which is the rarest?
I'd say genetic diseases basically. We don't really find a lot of genetic diseases, not because we don't have them. Okay. But genetic diseases require genetic screening, which the facility in Nigeria is there, expensive, not so much, So yeah, genetic disease, I think we don't have a lot of genetic diseases around.
We'll come to that. Yeah. Well, let's go back to the refractive errors that you mentioned earlier. What are those? What are the types, and what causes refractive error in the eyes?
All right, so there are primarily about 4 refractive errors.
Okay.
We have myopia. That's when you're short-sighted. Short-sighted means what it is. You can see near very well. It depends on how bad the myopia is. You might be able to see something even at the tip of your nose, you know.
That's not good.
I'm just joking. And then, it depends on how bad myopia is. Myopia, you can see near, you can't see far very well. Hyperopia, in simple terms, you can see far very well. You might be able to see near very well, but at a certain stage of hyperopia, even near becomes difficult. You can see far very well. Near, you can't see, but it's on degree of difficulty. It depends on the severity also. Near becomes more difficult than it should be.
What causes this?
Oh well, there's no, for most eye conditions, there's no cause like this is the culprit, I hold on to this. No.
Yeah.
There are just risk factors around it.
Oh, what are those risk factors?
Yeah, so let's look at myopia, for instance.
Yeah.
We're deviating from the main question, which is the cause of type of refractive error.
Right.
Myopia, hyperopia, astigmatism, presbyopia. So those 4 basically. So risk factors for myopia. We know prolonged near task. It's one of the major risk factors. There's also a genetic risk for myopia, actually.
Break that down. Prolonged break that down.
We talked about this the last time where we were talking about children where you keep them in the house, they're always pressing tabs and pressing gadgets, and they
take away those tablets from them, right? Or keep them on the schedule.
Yes, that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice. Keep them on the schedule. Ensure and make sure they have some outdoor activities. Yeah, that would be nice. Not sitting there all day, watch TV, PlayStation, tabs, phones, gadgets, So yeah, we have risk factors for myopia. The most important one really is the excessive near activity. That's about it. And then genetics follows.
How does genetics play a role? What does that mean? Like, so if my dad had something now, I could come down with the same eye defect?
Yeah.
Man. It cannot be changed or what?
That means we have to go into the world of genetics. I'm not a genetic person, but yeah, it can be changed. Genetics has gone to certain levels where genes can be modified, genes can be altered. The genes are like, it's a big book it's bigger than biggest dictionary you've ever imagined. It's a lot of data. So yes, if you can pick the genes, you might be able to make modifications that can halt a particular disease from progressing into the next generation.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that because genes at this stage there's issues of, are we allowed to actually modify genes? Is that legal? Why are you doing this? That means if I want to be tall, if I want my children to be tall, next generation,
you could decide how they will look. You decide whether they will have long hair, curly hair, or something. I mean, that's another conversation. Let's stop there. Let's stop.
But there's the whole side of genetic modifications, which is very thin line between doing it for good and doing it for bad.
What are the other risk factors for myopia?
Myopia, apart from
near activities.
I think basically the two I can pick right now, it's the prolonged near task and genetics. The other ones are very minor. I can't even pick anyone right now.
How about far-sightedness? People that can only see from afar.
People that can see far, preferably see far better.
Yeah.
Now, that comes with a lot of. You don't find most people having it, really. You don't find most people having it. You don't find younger people having it. You find it mostly in the middle age, elderly, being long-sighted. And then the younger people that have it, those ones are mostly genetic. You find that father, mother, they've been using thick glasses. You can find it from their parents already. Genetics for hyperopia, really.
Okay.
And then anatomy of the eye itself. You have some people with the eye itself, they have small eyes, the eyes, there's something about the eyes. What you see on the outside is not what is actually on the inside. The person might have very small eyes, thin eyes, and say, oh no, this person has small eyes. Whereas, the eye is big on the inside.
Oh.
The growth of the eye itself can predispose to hyperopia. So people with facial dysmorphism, facial abnormalities, where they have small eyes, the eyes didn't develop very well, they tend to be hyperopic. That's about it. I think that's about the major risk factors for hyperopia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk astigmatism then.
So astigmatism basically is you're seeing.
Yeah.
You see near, you see far, at a good percentage, but the images you're seeing are not formed to a very clear focus. That means the images are not particularly aligned.
Okay.
For instance, you're seeing a straight pole, it might appear a little bit distorted. You see something that's straight, it might appear a little bit like S-shaped.
Yeah.
For some children that are astigmatic, they go to school, teacher is teaching them A, B, C, D. They get to some letters like L, M, where you have straight lines, and they write their L like W or V, and you're wondering, your child, anytime you tell him to write, is always bending the hand like this. The child is not seeing. There's some distortion in what the child is saying, and then child will translate that into what he's writing, and then you might think that this child is a very stubborn child. He doesn't want to write this letters the way we've taught them. Perhaps you don't consider the fact that the child is not saying it the way you've written it. The image is a little bit distorted. So yeah, astigmatism is you see near, you see far, but it's not as sharp as it should be. It's distorted. And then presbyopia, which is the last one. The talk of is it an actual refractive error is there? It's age-related loss of focus, near focus. Yeah, most people tend to have it really at about 40 plus. That's one way to catch if someone is 40 and above. You see them with their bifocal glasses.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Why are you doing eyes like that to me?
I can't catch you. That's the thing. If you're 40 plus, I can't catch you because you're myopic,
Yeah.
and then it would take before you become presbyopic, it will take a while.
It will take a while.
Yeah, it will take longer than you probably not become presbyopic by 40.
Okay.
Probably later.
Okay.
Because you're
Because I'm myopic.
yes,
already.
your near focus is good,
Yeah.
but your far is bad. So
Yeah.
primarily you won't lose your near focus until So that's basically myopic guys are able to bypass presbyopia early and later rather.
Okay. I want us to talk a little bit more about the refractive issues because we're still going to touch on cataract and some other eye issues that could be glaucoma, for instance. We could talk about macular degeneration as well.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk refractive errors in kids. How can parents pick up this early enough? Because personally, I can't exactly tell when I found out that I was myopic. When I was, a little bit, I just knew that I had to stay very close to. I went to Jackson School, right?
Yeah.
Those schools, the blackboard is blackboard. There's nothing like
a whiteboard.
It's very large, very large like that, and so it's wide. I find myself moving from one side of the class to the other side just so I can see, what the teacher was writing on the board. So I didn't exactly know what was going on. My parents, they never picked it up until I got into junior secondary.
Yeah.
That's when I was now able to tell them. They still did not pick it up. I was able to tell them, what I was going through. You understand? So it wasn't really an easy task. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
How can parents pick this up early enough?
All right, fine. It's not entirely. I mean, the parents are caregivers, but let's not put it on parents entirely. Let's not put it on parents entirely. You find that children they go to school as well.
Yeah.
There's also a role to be played by teachers.
The teachers.
Yeah. Yeah, so parents spend more time with the children, and then they notice their behavior, their activities, how they do, their preferences, So when you first, you find the child watching TV and always wants to poke the eye into the TV, sit close to the TV. You're picking one or two signals. The child is not doing academically well in school. You're picking one or two signals. What's happening? They're teaching my child. The example I just gave a while ago. The child they're teaching you ABC. You're writing it, the homework. The child comes home, Mom, this is my homework. Write A to Z. And the child is just writing it, the wrong way. You're picking some small signals there, little signals here and there. The child is wanting to read or wanting to write, and child is squinting so bad, and you're wondering why are you squeezing your eye this way, or maybe a child is even wanting to read, and you notice that one eye drifts, one eye, small signs here and there, and then I know that's for the parents. When you start seeing some subtle, it's not every child that goes to school that should carry first, but your child should do good in school. That's what that's what we should expect. But when your child is persistently not doing good, sometimes it's just because these children are not seeing well. So they can't see what they are reading, they can't see what is written, and what do you want them to get first? No. Yeah. So the teacher has to play a role. The school plays a role. We find that I know that Lagos they do this vision screening for schools. It's not a big deal really. It's just during an assembly in the morning or on particular days. Line them up class by class and tell each pupil to read the acuity chart. There's usually an acuity chart on the wall. It's there fixed, Most public schools have it. I've seen the few public schools. And any child that doesn't read to a particular line is moved to this side. You need to see the eye care doctors, or maybe send a note to the parents, caregiver, that this child needs to be.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Let's take a few calls because time is never enough, honestly speaking. We'll take a call. We'll take one or two calls before our first break. Then when we return, perhaps we'll start with cataract, then we go to glaucoma, and then macular degeneration. There are other issues like amblyopia.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as well if we have the time. 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993. 01 277 and 01 277 or you can call the smart number 0700 993. Female only line is 01 465 7190. That's for female callers only. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning.
Sheriff from Ikorodu.
Welcome.
Please, I have 2 questions for your daughter, please.
Yes, please.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
As a teacher, does this eye problem, does it affect reasoning in children? As in,
does it affect what?
Reasoning, as in, if I'm teaching wild animals and a child is telling me a cop is a wild animal, is eye defect, does it affect reasoning in children? That's one. Then 2, wow.
Go on.
I'm listening.
No, I've forgotten the question now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
perhaps you just call back, Adeshawa? Please do call back. Let's take one more before you answer that question. Morning to you.
Morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, from Maguru, Lucky Lola.
You're welcome.
Yes, doctor, quick one. I know of a person who doesn't smoke, but the eyes are very red. Can the person achieve, white eyes? Okay.
Yeah. Red eye. Always red.
Red eye is not just smoking, really. It's not just smoking. You don't have to smoke before you have red eyes.
Okay.
Irritations can give you red eye. Irritations can give you.
Is it reversible? I don't even know if he ever had white eyeball, but
there's some drug in the market. I know of a drug that I've never prescribed, and I don't think I'll prescribe it till I die. It makes the eye a little white. It constricts the vessel around the eye and makes it look white. Otherwise, red eye has a lot of causes. Causes in the eye, outside the eye, but most person with red eyes, irritation. Really.
What would you suggest for this individual?
Eye check. Eye check. I really can't. You can't pick that. This is the cause of a red eye.
Yeah.
Eye check would be nice.
How about Adeshawa's question?
Yeah. So children are complicated human beings.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but they are complicated human beings. You don't want to. Yes, the eye tells a lot, but I think that child should see a pediatrician. There's this ADHD, attention attention deficit.
Disorder,
When you find children acting one way or another, it might not necessarily be the eye.
Okay.
You need to have them evaluated by a pediatrician as well.
All right, then. We'll take another call at this time. Good morning to you. I think we lost that, so let's take another. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Nakitode. I just want to know from the doctor, because I just discovered that I have a region in my eyes. I had an operation 3 days ago, but I did not find it very comfortable. And my question now is, how can somebody avoid, or what can someone do to avoid having the region? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So it's surgery. It's not always comforting, that's one Yoruba proverb.
Yeah.
But it will heal. You'll be better in a few days. I'm guessing they've given you some eye drops. You'll be fine. Prevention, really, I'm sure your doctor will have discussed that with you. Basically, put on sunshades, screen, UV filters, because we are all at risk of developing pterygium. So prevent yourself from exposures to the risk factors. That's all. Mostly sunshades and good lubrication, really.
Okay, all right. Let's take another one. Good morning to you.
Yes.
Okay, I've remembered.
Remembered.
Now, a child that writes uppercase and lowercase together, as in writing of notes from the board. The girl writes uppercase and lowercase together. Is she, the way you said that, you use one terminology now, that there is a way they add to something like that. Then, easy detection in children. Is it true that eating of fruits, some certain fruits, else in eyesight?
Okay.
Yeah, so uppercase, lowercase, I don't think that's particularly an eye problem. The children are complicated. There's a lot of things that they need to learn to put in their head, You teach child uppercase P and lowercase
It could
P.
just be learning disability.
Exactly. It could just be, might not be eye related. And then the second thing you mentioned,
certain fruits that could help with them.
The eye particularly likes certain vitamins, vitamin A, C, D, E, some other vitamins like that. The eye takes more concentration, takes more of it from our diet. So certain fruits contains those vitamin in eye concentration. There's no harm in.
Yeah. How about for adults? Can adults?
Yes, adults actually need that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Adults need that too. More.
Okay.
Children are able to get it more from, but adults, we need more of it.
Okay. I'm going to take just one message. I mean, we may not be able to give answers, but when we return, we'll definitely do that. And Anonymous from Ogun State is here. You know what? Let's head out. Let's take this break regardless. We'll take this break. It's a short one. We'll be back to talk some more. Stay here.
Stay one step ahead with the latest news and trending conversations here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Don't tell people you've added weight. Why are you losing weight?
Yeah.
Eating. No, it's not your business.
That money, the pass is good. Finally.
We should be patient and pray to God that God is going to answer our prayer.
Please, this is not all about prayer. It's not like everything is not prayer. That is Nigerian mentality. It's about finding happiness in your home. You pray.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Papa, mama, brother, sister, this Lagos must work for all of us. Everybody down
I welcome you now to 2023. This 2023 way you see so life go better. Everybody go to live city where they life for inside Obodo Lagos. Sake of say this 2023, everybody go day free from Agberuan. Lagos go free from Gosolo. Lagos go free from flood where they full everywhere inside rain and they never get solution to them. Lagos go free from bad road them. Lagos go free from local market we no get time. Lagos go free for robbery where they shell for inside Gosolo. But in our hand we go use to choose better life for ourselves. Vote for Jandor. Make we come out Lagos from one individual hand where they summer everybody full. Vote for governor. We go get mind of himself. Where we go be proud of every time, every day. Fight for Lagos, fight for your right. Jafeko Jafetoe. Vote PDP. PDP power.
Everybody down
My people, we bring to you here and now the Glow Festival of Joy Promo.
It's a life-changing prize galore from Glow.
A stadium full of gidigba prizes to be won.
20 brand new houses,
24 brand new cars,
100 generators,
200 sewing machines, 1,000 rechargeable fans,
and thousands upon thousands of other unbelievable prizes.
Just dial *611# to enter and win in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data during the promo period and you could win a house. And if you recharge or load data from 500 naira to 10,000 naira monthly, weekly or daily, you stand a chance to win a brand new car plus other great prizes.
Don't just sit around scratching your chin.
Dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions apply.
Glow Unlimited.
Please listen to this public service announcement. Are you or anyone around you having rashes on the face, hands, feet, and any part of the body that may be filled with liquid or pus? With or without a sudden fever, headache, body pain, and weakness? You may be infected with monkeypox. Monkeypox is an infectious disease transmitted from animals to humans and from humans to humans. To protect yourself and loved ones, avoid contact with sick or dead animals. Avoid skin-to-skin contact with persons infected with or showing symptoms of monkeypox. Do not share, touch, or handle clothing and personal items of an infected person. Stay safe by washing your hands frequently with soap under running water, especially after caring for or visiting sick people. Early detection saves lives.
If you or anyone around you shows symptoms, please visit the nearest health facility for treatment to help stop the spread of the disease. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health, NCDC, and partners.
We all have that one friend that always hides everything from everyone else. Like my guy, Sheon, that got 1 gig free data when he downloaded my MTN NG app. Did he share the gist with us?
No!
But we found out, and even something he doesn't know, that we get up to 2 gig data if we recharge 500 naira or more on my MTN NG app with our debit card.
You don't mean it!
That's not all. We also get 10% extra on every airtime recharge made on my MTN NG app.
Wow!
Will we share the gist with him?
Yes!
That's correct. You get 1 gig free data when you download my MTN NG app. Up to 2 gig when you recharge 500 naira and above with your debit card on my MTN NG app. And 10% extra on every recharge made on the app. So what are you waiting for? Download my MTN NG app today to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, here he comes.
Guy, any gist today?
What are we doing today?
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Health Thursday. Today is the 5th of January 2023. I'm Sheriff Quadry, and we're discussing eye care today. Dr. Saka Idris is here. He's an ophthalmologist, and we've been talking about eye issues. And I can see that quite a number of people want to call in and ask questions. I have plenty of my own too, but let me take one or two, and then we'll go back to my own questions. All right. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I'm listening to your program, and I have this issue with my eyes. I have short-sighted health issue.
Okay.
I don't see when I'm looking through my phone, unless I keep the phone directly in front of me, then I will see clearly. But if it's far, I don't see very well.
Okay.
And if I'm outside, if I'm inside the house as well, then the moment I go outside when it's sunny, I don't see very far. And below my eyes, I feel heaviness. I feel like something like word is underneath my eyes. And it makes me to strain my eyes.
Okay, so hold on.
So
Have you gone for an eye check?
So I don't know the cause.
Have you
So
gone
I'm
for an eye
using
check?
glasses.
Have you gone for a check? The doctor is asking you a question.
Yes, I've gone for a check. If I go to check, they check. They don't even tell me that this is that. But
Okay, so I think you should get a second opinion. If you're not happy with what you're getting from one service provider, go somewhere else. But this is what you've just said so far. It's simple. Go for an eye check. They will talk to you. They'll explain everything to you. They'll solve your problem. It's not.
Do you understand? You need to go and see another doctor to give you a check. Okay. All right. Thank you. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you.
You too.
Yeah, I want to ask this question.
Please go on.
Actually, this is me. I'm Pastor Francis, calling from K2 Axis. Yeah, for a time now, I've been going through this pain in my eye. I've gone to so many places, in fact, to Ikeja, to Maxi Vision, and General Hospitals, yet to no avail. And what was the challenge, or what is the challenge, sorry? I can't read. I will see the letters, they'll be very bold, but can't really see it as per spelling them or reading them out. But, and again, I've gone, the last time I went to Maxi Vision, they told me there's a scare at the back of my eye.
A scar, eh?
There's a scare at the back of my eye.
Okay, so
In
let's
fact,
go.
the first people that said that was from the General Hospital in Cape.
Yeah.
But I've been going from one ophthalmologist to the other to no avail.
Okay, so your question.
So,
now.
hold on, sir. Hold on. Let the doctor respond to that.
Let's get his question. Let me get what he wants.
Oh, okay. Your question then. What's your question?
Okay, the question is that I was told that there's a scare at the back of my
So
eye.
what's your question?
Scare at the back of my eye. So I can't read.
So what's your
But I
question?
will see the letters. I can see a bit far.
What's your
So what
question?
is the question now? What's the question?
My question is, what could be done?
Okay.
I've been going from one ophthalmologist to the other.
All
That's
right.
fine. That's
Good.
fine.
So, science. A few days ago, having a conversation with a friend. Science is there. Science is not alpha or omega.
Yeah.
Science is there. Science is basically finding answers. We're looking for answers. We need to find answers. We'll hypothesize. We'll make theory, and would assume. Science is not we learning these things because these things are telling us. Science is not the cells in our body telling us this is how we work. We divide into two. We observe these things. We observe and then make hypothesize, and then we write them down, and then we learn them. Some of these observations might be wrong, That's why we call them hypotheses. This man has a scar behind the eye. At this age and time, science is not able to fix those kind of scars. I mean, there's certain things that can be done, but at this age and time, there are, to those kinds of scars, there's less answer to it. There's more questions than answer. If you touch those scars, for instance, you could incite a retinal detachment. Sometimes you have some radical surgery where they pick a part of retina and then remove the scar and then put normal retina. It's at this age and time, for this man, there's not much that can be done. But then, because of his needs for near vision, he can have what we call low vision aids. See an optometrist or an ophthalmologist. They have some low vision device that would magnify so much so that he'll be able to still function and read what he wants. So yes, it's one of those cases where crossroads,
Yeah. I'm going to take one more. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Very from Yoruba.
Welcome, Very.
I have two questions. The first one is, at what age should we start to take testing our eyes, and how often? If you're in your 40s, is it just once a year, or should it be more than that?
Okay, Very. All right. There you go.
So if you have a risk, if for any reason you feel your mother, your father, or someone close to you, relative, has one eye issue or other, you don't need to wait till you're older. Just go and have a check, because like we say, genes, So you don't need to have any complaint at all. There's nothing wrong in just walking to the nearest eye clinic to have a check. But otherwise, once a year is fine.
Once a year is good.
And then if there's something, it might be more frequent.
How about when you get older? At what age should you keep to once a year? 40 and above, 50 and above?
40.
Yeah.
40.
Okay.
40.
All right. That's good. So my calls are tripping in, but I need to insist at this juncture because I have questions here as well to ask. But I'll come back to telephone in a moment. So every year, right, you have people buy banger, knockout, fireworks. And you see these things that when they spark with very, very bright lights and all of that. What's the position of experts such as yourself, on the effect of these bright lights, on the eye?
My brother, there's more. You see, the bright light is not the
problem.
It's the bright light is so colorful. I like to see it myself. Everybody likes it. The stars are lit up and everything. Sorry, the sky is lit up and everything. But you see, since I started working in this Lagos, at least every December, January period, since I started working, at least me, I know of myself. I would always have a case of banger, knockout, all this thing, busting someone's eye.
Busting, as in busting.
They bust, you understand? It's steady. I don't miss it. I'm not being pessimistic, but I always look out for it. So what kind of cases do you guys have today? Do we have? When you hear banger, my brain is like, oh, okay.
I don't go.
This eye don't go. Most likely has gone. Then you look at it, and then and most often the speed of those you find the courageous children. Parents go and buy a banger. A courageous child will hold it up to the face, and then this banger doesn't tell you where it's going to shoot at. The speed doesn't allow the eye
any time to prepare for it or anything.
Yes, and then it doesn't hit the eye. The eye is soft. It's the eye. The damage is mostly irreparable. I mean, you can repair to make the eye look normal, but in terms of vision, most often than not, I don't have figures, but for this few that I've seen, almost all the eyes that I've seen,
and you see this on a yearly basis.
Steady. I don't like being on call during those periods, man. It's like it shouldn't be me seeing this year. I'm looking for the year I'll skip. So I don't know. I don't know why it's not become a public health issue now. I don't know why, but I know at some point a few years ago, I think Governor Fashola made it a public health issue where no knockout, no banger, and but it's back now. And people are doing it recklessly, So
and we're losing eyes, good eyes.
Young children, we don't find how many adults would carry their hard-earned money and go and be training knockouts. This thing is mostly in children in school age, primary, secondary, excitement of that sound, and they lose their eyes every.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I mean, talking about eyes and all of that, what can make a child develop cross-eye?
So cross-eye is number one cause of cross-eye, refractive errors, actually, that we mentioned earlier. we find that, especially hyperopia, when the child is not able to focus. So what happens is when you're trying to see near, you find that the eye has to make movements to move together.
Yeah.
And then when you're not able to focus clearly, the movement might not be symmetric between both eyes, and then one eye will move more than the other.
On its own?
On its own. That's one cause of cross-eye, refractive errors. Traumas too can be a cause of refractive error. You have someone hitting the eye, and then the eye is held in place by 6 muscles.
Okay.
Any trauma to any of those muscles would misalign the eye. Another cause of cross-eye, you have some rare conditions, some tumors, especially in children. When a child comes up, 6 months old child, 1 year old child with cross-eye, your brain as an eye doctor there's possibly a tumor in this child's eye. Tumors can cause squint. We also have, for cross-eye, some people have cross-eye not because they can see with that eye, but because they can't see with the eye. When they have that cross-eye, the eye is probably not seeing, and then the brain has made it a point of duty that this eye is not giving me information, and then doesn't even pay attention to the coordination of that, and then the eye drifts outwards, or inwards as may be. So yeah, those are some of the few causes of cross-eye. But for every case of cross-eye, refraction has to be done first. Examine the eye to be sure if there's, like this man with a scar, for instance, I talked to you that if I see him tomorrow and he has a cross-eye, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that scar might be sitting at the center, and then the brain is not getting good information from a central vision, and then the eye would decide to turn away from that central point where the scar is to focus with other points that are non-central.
Right.
And then you find that man's eye drifting. He's looking at you, he's talking to you, but his eye is looking somewhere else, and you're wondering. Whereas it's seeing you only if it drifts away. But it's not if it looks directly at you, because of the scar at the center of the eye, it won't see you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so many causes of cross.
Can this be corrected? I mean, apart from the ones caused by refractive errors, the other ones can they be corrected?
Yes, most of them can be corrected. But I mean, not the ones that the brain is involved, or there's big scar. Yeah, it can be corrected. You can align the eyes again. You can do surgeries to realign the eye. But there's so much that can be done, really.
Indeed. I'm going to head back to the telephone right away. Let's take a few more calls in before we move on to other issues. We still have glaucoma and cataract to talk about. Macular degeneration is here as well. Good morning to you.
Beautiful morning to you, sir.
Morning.
Yes, good morning to the doctor.
Hi.
Yeah, this is Gideon Praise from Utilide.
Welcome.
Yeah, I was trying to talk. My own case has to do with when I was very young, my parents told me when I was under 5 years old that I have these measles that appeared in my body, out my face, and before they could apply some things, it has already entered my eyes. So, but eventually, because I don't know, I'm growing up as a teenager now, before I've been using glasses up to date, and I've been going to the hospital. The one I went last was like 2 years ago. I was decided I should do a fracture or something like that. I did it about twice. So eventually, I have been using glasses, but the one they gave to me, I couldn't get a frame for it now, so I'm still using another one. So I don't know, because I've not really seen changes. Can it actually be corrected? Because currently, if I hold a phone, like the caller said earlier, if I hold a phone or want to read something, the more I look at light, anything lighting, whatever, the whole thing will be blurring if my face is off the light.
Okay.
So hold on, Eben. Hold on. Let the doctor say something.
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you. But this question you're asking now, have you asked your doctor that saw you? I know you've gone for that eye check. You're a good man. Have you asked that doctor that when you're looking at light and everything you're about to say?
Yes, I told her.
Did you get good answers?
And, what?
Did you get good answers?
No, she said.
Were you satisfied or not?
50-50.
Okay.
That some
so you were not satisfied
for operation or something like surgery, and glasses can also correct it.
Okay, so what do you want me to do now? If you were satisfied, then fine. If
So are you okay with your doctor's response?
There's always so yeah,
because
I
haven't seen the change.
Okay.
Get a second opinion.
Okay.
Go to another hospital.
Do you get that?
Yeah. There's so much I can tell you.
I discovered that if I take fruits very well consecutively, it brightens my sight.
So yes, eat fruits. Take them. All right. The thing is, measles virus has this affinity for the eye. So I'm guessing from what you're saying now that you probably have some corneal complications from the measles you had when you were younger. Cornea is probably scarred or opaque to some degree. So yeah, it might affect your vision, glare, light sensitivity, and everything. And then yes, surgery might be an option to replace the cornea. I'm guessing,
Yeah.
That's why I really can't be of help here on the radio station. Go to that eye hospital. If you're not comfortable with what you've gotten from one center, Lagos is teeming with eye clinics. Even though ophthalmologists are almost gone, only
a very small amount of you people remain.
I just not good there. But in any case, you can
and
always
you're
get
about
your
to leave
second
too.
opinion.
Don't jump
I
it.
don't know
Don't
what
jump
you're
the
talking about.
topic.
I don't know what you're talking about. But in any case, yeah. So please get a second opinion.
Let me take this message from Facebook. Abayomi says, is there a solution to floater vision? I've been to several eye clinics, but it wasn't detected. What can I do?
Yeah, it's a solution to floaters, really. But you should understand that the solution carries more risk than just letting it be. Yeah, if you want to, floaters are, everybody's likely to have this floater. It's the eye is kept in shape by a gel called vitreous. The vitreous is a transparent gel. As you grow older, the gel starts to clump up together, and then we see those things as floaters. It doesn't even have to be age related. Sometimes small trauma would distort the architecture of the gel, and then we start seeing small clumps. And then these clumps are even there in every normal person. We see them more vividly when we sneeze, but they are still very small, so we can't even notice. So a solution is there, but more risk.
More risk.
If solution is one, remove the gel in the eye, replace it with another one. What carries risk of other complications? You can have retinal tears, you can have detachment. So that's vitrectomy. The other solution is to use focus laser beams towards those floaters to disperse them.
Okay.
But then carries also risk, big risk, So floaters will necessarily not cause anything if there are no assisted flashes of light. If the floaters are not increasing in numbers rapidly, necessarily they don't affect vision. You only see them when you pay attention to them. If you mind your business and you're looking for money in Lagos and you're trying to save your head from the downfall driver beside you, you won't notice floaters.
Okay, all right. I'm going to take this one here. Good morning to you. It's gone. Let's take another one. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please turn off your radio.
Good morning, doctor.
Hi, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, please, go on. We can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Felicia.
Okay.
I have been diagnosed of glaucoma. I want to know whether after surgery, will it correct it permanently? Is there any correction or is there any medicine that can cure glaucoma now?
Yes, so good question. Is that all? Is that all the question?
Is that everything?
Hello?
Is that all the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So 2023 now.
Yeah.
The research is ongoing. Answers are being looked for everywhere. Glaucoma is still there. Too little answers. We can make it better. There's a lot we can do to make sure it doesn't get worse than it is. That's where glaucoma is in this age and time. We can make it better. Vision that has been lost has been lost. But vision that remains, we can do a lot. You can go as far as eye drops, medicines. You can go as far as lasers. You can go as far as surgery. You can do all that in this generation to make sure the glaucoma doesn't progress any further. And in some rare cases, even despite doing everything, the glaucoma will still progress. But it might progress at a very subtle rate that you might live with that vision and live planet Earth with that vision. But at this age and time,
there's
we
really
can make it
nothing
better.
much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take this message here that says there was a scare of glaucoma in late 2020, and it was confirmed at the Korea General Hospital. And I've done OCT, CCT, CFVC, and started using microbe side drop. But I am not happy because I've been to other hospitals for second, third, and fourth options, and I was told that I don't have it. And I'm so confused if to stop using the eye drop monthly or not. Please help.
Yeah, so if you're told that
she's been to like three other experts.
That's the issue. When I think mostly when you have early glaucoma, and you don't go all the way in terms of investigation. They've gone all the way in from what she just mentioned. They've probably gone all the way in all the investigations, and then whoever made that decision that this is glaucoma probably felt, I think this is glaucoma. There's some degree of subjectivity to it. So me saying this is glaucoma based on the investigations and what I've found, there's still some subjectivity to it. So yes, to be on the safe side, I would advise
we talked about this the last time you were here as well.
Yeah. I'd advise use your eye drops, and prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
If down the line, a few years later, you develop this glaucoma, you'll be the one to say, those 3 doctors, bad doctors, they say I don't have glaucoma. Now, see me with my eye, but one has told you now.
Yeah.
Better to be on the side of caution,
But is there an advantage of her continuing with the medication?
Not necessarily. What the medication would do is to reduce the eye pressure. They have some subtle side effects here and there.
Yeah.
Some will make your eyelash longer. Some will make the eye itch a little bit red, like matter, But otherwise, basically reduces the eye pressure. As far as the eye pressure is low, you're able to control glaucoma progression to a certain limit. Yeah. So, but those drugs will not bring the eye pressure below to a level that is really abnormal. So yeah, it's at that first person just continue the side drops.
Okay, fantastic.
And go for reviews.
Look, we can't go beyond this point.
Yeah.
We have about 3 more: macular degeneration, and maybe 4 more, maybe even more. But we can't go beyond this time because we have time is fast spent. Dr. Idris, thank you so much for joining me.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. Would you like, the last time you said you wouldn't want to, is there any way people can ask questions after this show? Are you on social media? You're still not on social media yet.
So much.
Look at this doctor.
So much noise on that.
Since last year.
So much noise.
So people cannot reach you. Oh my God.
I mean, let me see. Should I have social media? I'm thinking.
How can you not be on social media?
I mean, I am. Is YouTube social media?
I don't think we can classify YouTube as social media.
I'm on Twitter, but I don't remember the last time I opened it. So much information and backlash and everybody's opinion.
Yeah, just in your own
I'd rather
world.
just read some research and conduct some research than face Twitter. So much. You know what? Now that you mentioned it, social media. Give me advice. Tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Let's people reach out to you on Twitter. Just ask you questions, basically.
All right, great. I think I have a Twitter handle. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I think and try to log in if I remember my password. I would.
Dr. Idris, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Lagos, that's our show this morning. Yeah. Once I get his social media, Twitter handle, I would send it to you, and then you can reach out to him and ask him your questions. All right. But we'll take the news now. After the news, we'll do Daily Digest. Good morning to you.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Broski, my G, after you now you.
I be one.
I beg, just cut and right there. I no get any money at all. I beg. Baba, calm down.
Now your account number I want.
My account number? You want use and borrow money, Abi? Hey, them right maga put for my head and they ask you. Oh yeah, see the account number. What's it mean? Yeah, 5 million naira. Yeah,
Baba, my new name na Solo Mega.
You selfish.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.